People with uncommon allergies. What's a weird place you found your allergen and what was the effects? I'm allergic to aloe vera. Found out as a kid with heat rash. Later confirmed when I tried it again on a sunburn. It causes my skin to blister and burn. Commonly found in shampoo, conditioner, makeup, and just about any product that says hydrating or cooling. The worst was doing a makeup course with a spa I worked at. I told them about my allergy and they completely brushed it off. Sure enough, they sprayed a mist on my face and I panicked a little because it felt warm. I asked to read the ingredients and it was second in line ACA, high content. My face immediately started to blister and radiate heat. Child is allergic to ingested nicotine. The list of foods they need to avoid or minimize is numerous. They avoid the bigger triggers and hope for the best. Took us a long time figuring this out. Luckily they only get a horrible rash that hurts for a few days, but it's ugly for a few months. Lucky in that they do not stop breathing. My landmate bought new deodorant last week and found out the hard way she was allergic to it. Her armpits looked like they were starting to bleed. A few years back she tried switching to a vape to help quit smoking. She used it for a few hours and while we were watching a movie she wiped her sleeve across her face and the skin on your lips slipped off and was on her sleeve. It's not really that uncommon of an allergy, but I'm allergic to shellfish. I got some Korean BBQ wings and didn't know they used shrimp paste in the sauce. I didn't die, but I damn near broke my toilet. Called the place to report food poisoning and mentioned I'm allergic to shellfish, so could also be cross-contamination. They were like, oh damn, yeah, the shrimp paste in the sauce. They started labeling the menu differently after that. Allergic to water that was dispensed through a silicone tube. Always made my throat itchy, had no idea why till I figured it out. Thought I was just parched and clearing my throat was from hydrating. I'm allergic to cold. I noticed that when I walk outside when it's below 50 my skin would break out in hives. There are other people with this allergy out there, but some are so bad they can't have cold drinks. I just have to take Allegra before I go outside. I'm allergic to chocolate, and I know all about mall. I did not know that some restaurants put dark chocolate in their chili. That was fun. My enemy seems to be meatballs made by someone else. I'm allergic to most legumes. Green peas, faba beans, chickpeas, lentils, etc. you name it. Some time ago I ate prepackaged factory meatballs. Oddly, my mouth started to itch but I didn't connect it to the meatballs. Later it happened again and I started to wonder. And I was correct. Bean protein, and later I learned that I'm allergic to pea fiber too. Also faba beans seem to be in vogue where I live. I was in a hurry and grabbed mashed potatoes and balls. Only at lunch I realized the balls weren't meatballs but bean balls. Co-worker at it. Not unusual, but I'm allergic to morphine and raspberries and nectarines. 3 of the greatest things on earth. Allergic to zinc. Guess what the active ingredient is in sunscreen? My allergy is very run-of-the-mill penicillin, but once my dog licked my arm just after having his quite powdery antibiotics, and I had hives where he licked me for ages. I'd been wondering if I was in the category of not allergic, but thinks they are because it's apparently quite common. But nope, definitely shouldn't take penicillin if that's what it does to my outsides. I discovered I was allergic to Angora when I was asked to babysit my neighbor's bunny. I don't know if it's uncommon, but I'm allergic to adhesives. I found out after I had a C-section and reacted horribly to the medical tape they put over my incision. I can't wear band-aids or have bandages with sticky residue or tape, or even wax like the type you'd use for hair removal. It's hilariously ironic to me because I have hemophilia. I am allergic to tomatoes. I did not realize how many damn things have tomatoes in it. The one that caught me off guard was beef stock. Eating that made me throw up 6 hours later. I may also be allergic to carrots since I am allergic to apples. That was also in my pot roast lol. Kiwi. I was briefly living in an area where they were grown, and most of the farms had roadside stands with honor boxes. An honor box is this heavy steel box welded to a table with a slot for your money. They sold blemished food at the stand for $1 a bag. One day I binged and bought a bag with 3 conjoined fruits, so essentially 6 fruits, and hit up the market for some good Havarti cheese. Had a fine old time eating my kiwi and cheese, but my inner cheeks and lips swelled up and were tingly and stayed that way for 2-3 days. Low-level anaphylactic reaction. That was 14 years ago, and I haven't had kiwi since, which makes me sad because I love kiwi. I was 55 when that happened. I have no other food allergies at all, but a lot of hay fever causing botanical and animal allergies. I have a mild allergy to some tree nuts. Hazelnut in particular, but walnuts make my mouth numb after a bit. One time I got coffee at Panera, and they had mistakenly filled the hazelnut coffee in the dark roast container. I threw some syrup in because it tasted off. Halfway down the road, I noticed my mouth was feeling weird and I was getting this sense of dread. I then realized it was the hazelnut and downed a shitload of water to dilute it. Tamarind Indian date. I found it as a candy at an Asian food market and took it home to try it. I went into mild anaphylaxis, but I survived. Just have to watch out for it in Mexican and Asian cuisine. I don't know how uncommon this is, but I'm allergic to prednisone and a few other corticosteroids. I discovered it because it's the first line of treatment for various autoimmune conditions I have. The first time, it made me go into psychosis, but that was pretty much the only symptom, extreme anxiety and paranoia. The second time I was also taking trazodone, which I am also allergic to, and had a drug-induced dystonia reaction. So the entire left side of my body curled up towards my stomach, and I still have issues with that side. They thought it was a stroke or a mess at first. I also went paranoid and delusional again, although this time I was able to get proper support right away. The trazodone also made me lose my hair, I was bruising and stuff more easily, and this sounds like a dumb symptom, but I legit felt like I was dying. After 3 days off the meds I started feeling myself again.